Stanley, Scuba, Sailing, and Adventures. I wanted to share some things I learned about using filters while scuba diving with my GoPro camera. Some of those lessons were learned the hard way. I've used some snap-on filters that I got from Amazon occasionally over the years that just snap onto my super suit dive housing for my GoPro camera. And then I saw this set of flip filters and mini macro mate on backscatter. So I ordered this kit. It intrigued me. I like the idea of having the filters on a flip mechanism so I could flip them out of the way. See, here's one for 20 to 40 feet of depth. And then there's a darker filter for 40 to 80 feet. You can undo those screws and then screw on the Macromate Mini with these Allen wrenches that come with the kit. And then essentially you'll have that macro lens that you can flip down when you use it. Also came with this little envelope, and it had a couple of extra screws, which is great, right? Because those screws are a little easy enough to lose. Like I said, I'd been using filters off and on, the snap-on filters, and really didn't give a lot of thought as to when I used the filters and when I didn't. It was more or less what I felt like at the time. I tended to use the filters when I had a lot of sunlight and was on shallower dives and really didn't pay a lot of attention to the outcome from those activities. However, a recent dive trip, I used this and came to some very stark realizations regarding the use of them. I know I'm combining some information about filters with these particular filters. I really do like this setup. You see it just clips on the super suit dive housing. There's a little screw there that you use the Allen wrench to tighten it down, and the filters flip back and forth. I would never use both filters. Typically, you know what you're getting into with the dive, so I'd use one of the filters and the Macromate Mini, and that's what I did when I was diving with this setup. The Macromate Mini comes with this little focus stick. I did not take the focus stick diving with me, but just kind of used it here to figure out about what the focal length would be and tried it out. So you see that's too far. That's for the 3. And then here's where I need to be because I'm diving with the GoPro 10. The dive averaged about 51 feet. There was some time I spent around 70 feet, but really nothing that was below 80 feet. So I'm using the deeper filter in this footage, but the video just came out completely unusable. So to summarize my opinion on the filters, and not just these filters, but really any filters with the GoPro, I think you don't need a filter with video lights. I usually use video lights. So anything that's within 3 or 4 feet, if you've got really bright video lights, you don't need to have the filters on. The filters with video lights for anything that's further away, trying to video some scenery, things like that, I would say at any depth. That's kind of where I've landed on using filters. Just to clarify, in the footage you're seeing now, I did not have video lights. This is just with the deep filter. And to reiterate, my recommendation and things I've learned are that I don't need filters when I'm diving with bright video lights at any depth. With video lights, I like to use the filters if I'm shooting something that's more than maybe 5 or 10 feet away, because the video lights just aren't going to reach that far. So video lights for scenery or wreck dives, I'll probably throw the filter on. But if I'm shooting video of crabs or lobsters, eels, fish, I'm probably within a couple feet and the video light's going to do fine. I'm not going to use filters. In regard to the Macromate Mini, I really haven't used it enough to form a strong opinion. I used it in one of my other videos for a close-up of very small fish, and I think it did a pretty good job. So I will continue to use the Macromate Mini, and at some point I'll probably make a detailed video about that.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.